So we're going to show you something that's never been done before, and which we believe if we can establish this concept, this is a proof of concept. So this is held together not with baling wire and bubble gum, but with the intelligence of a lot of really hard-working engineers on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. And so I'd like to start by thanking people. I'd like to thank Ryerson University. They're appearing on the HDTV screen on the far side. Right? So at Ryerson, of course, is Paul Hardy, the director of the Rogers Communications Center, who's going to stand in front of the camera and wave. And Manny, who's been working around the clock. I'd like to thank Cessnet, who's our host here in Prague. I'd like to thank CinePOST, which is our host here at Barandov Studios. I'd like to thank Dulsa, who brought their 4K camera to Prague to help us with this demonstration. I'd like to thank FilmLight, who provided not only is there a FilmLight system commercially installed here at CinePOST, but the system that is installed in Toronto, the control surface, was loaned by FilmLight and is staffed by a FilmLight engineer. I'd like to thank Starlight EVL for coordinating together with Netherlight and Checklight all of the networking. I'd like to thank UCSD and in particular CalIT2, University of Washington Research Channel. We're using their IHDTV system. I'd like to thank Marek Yiha, who's I'm sure I mispronounced his name, who was the director of photography for the shoot that we did this past weekend here in Prague, and you'll see the results in a moment. Marketa, who was the production coordinator, who works here in Prague. Rob Hummel, the president of Dulce Digital Cinema, who's sitting on the couch right here. He's a colleague of many years from when he was at Warner Brothers. Ase, which is a production company here in Prague that helped us enormously with the shoot. T-Systems, who provides the dark fiber, please don't press that again, who provides the dark fiber that runs from Checklight to the studio here in Barandov. Visual Connections, which is a system integration company, and Cisco. I'd like to particularly thank Michael Frizzle, who's been our colleague and collaborated on this for the last 3 months. Actually, it started in April at NAB when he said, can't we do something with Cessnet at Glyph in Prague? And Michael is in the back. A lot of us have not slept much, and Michael has slept less. Paul Hardy, I mentioned in Toronto, Manny in Toronto, Felix, who is our host and master of all things technical and aesthetic here at CinePOST. Thank you, Felix. It's been fun. Tomas, I cannot pronounce Czech names. So Stromnau, who's sitting behind the BaseLight system there from CinePOST. Jürgen Schultz from UCSD CalIT2, who helped us data wrangling and mastering the data transfers and processes needed. Alan Verlo, our buddy, who's pulled all the network threads together. It was a little tough on Saturday night when he was at his hotel and had no internet connectivity, and he was debugging. It was really fun. And Jeff Stahl from FilmLight, who is in the city in Toronto. It's capable of handling what's called 4K 444 RGB. The baseband of this signal is 12 gigabits per second. We cannot send that across the Atlantic. We don't have those resources, not even using the Cessnet Checklight Starlight 10 gig link. So what we have done is the BaseLight is capable of down converting the 4K to HDTV in real time. And we are outputting a single HD SDI 422 signal from the BaseLight, inputting that into an IHDTV system as developed by the research channel of the University of Washington. That sends uncompressed HDTV over 2 1 gig links, which are basically ping-ponged as the software in that spreads the 1.5 gigabit uncompressed HD across two 1 gig links. And there's a IHDTV receiver in Toronto that is feeding a Sony projector in Toronto, and that's what they're seeing on their big screen. So we are going to manipulate the contents interactively in HDTV, and then when we're done, we here in Prague will see the result in 4K. Okay, so I'm now, remember it's proof of concept, so I'm acting as if I'm the director of photography, which I am not. And so, Jeff, I'd like to guide you here. So this is the shot we call bridge view. So I'd like Jeff to set the in and out points. So can you back up? I want to see the, let's set the in point on this shot. Okay, go ahead and roll. Right after the stern of the ship, right there. All right, that's our in. And let's go forward to our out point, please. So again, we're seeing HDTV that's being generated here in Prague. The people in Prague are seeing it straight to the screen. The people in Toronto are seeing the same thing on the same projector in the same color space, but it's being controlled by Jeff Stahl sitting in Toronto. Oh, back up, back up. Right there, right there. Okay, and let's move to the next shot, please. Go ahead and roll. Okay, I don't want to see the tilt, Jeff. I just want to see it after the tilt settles, set your in. And how long is that clip, Jeff?
This clip is 8 seconds and 14 frames.
All right, let's tighten it up to about 6 seconds. Okay, and let's go forward. All right, let this run forward just a little bit more until we see the train come around. Right there, up, back, back. I don't want to see, I want you to come in just before the train appears behind the trees. A little more. Back, back, back. Good. And now let's roll forward. Actually, scroll. Okay. Zip forward till we set an out point. Shuttle. Yes. So I want the out point just as the last car leaves the frame on the right. And back. I just want to cut out, I'd like maybe 2 seconds after the train disappears off of frame right. All right, plus 2 seconds, please. All right, so let's play that from front to back. The whole project, please. All right. Jeff, I'd like to trim this one at the head. I'd like to shorten it up a little bit. Actually, let's pick it up. You know, roll forward, 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 right there. Okay, so what I'd like you to do, Jeff, is if you can, this is kind of over bright. I think for the next shot is a little darker. So could you please balance the color across the different clips so that it's consistent? I'll just leave that to you. So for those in the audience, this is where the BaseLight system is. It's a special purpose tool to now be able to manipulate color like this. Yeah, it's definitely not in Toronto.
Color correction session, the director of photography is about 6 inches behind the colorist, talking to them, pointing things on the screen, usually saying no, occasionally saying okay. We just took the extra 75 kilometers in that. So obviously we're very far-sighted. Continue on the same description. Normally, the control surface for a BaseLight system may be in the next week, or maybe perhaps in the next floor, but certainly not something.
So one of the things, just to comment, for those of you who see the Jeff working there, you'll notice he's not using a mouse, and you know, he's got this type of work. It's pretty universal that the professional world, that you can use Apple Final Cut Pro and you work on screen with a mouse and a keyboard, but in the cinema world, they want it more intuitive, and so they have this very sophisticated, customized control surface, which is what Jeff is working on, and there's one here at the desk that I'm at as well, with specialized function buttons and a lot of interactive control that's been specifically designed to assist this rather intuitive process of color. And so color correction is, yes, it's a science, but it's also an art. And in this business, at least, people are hired for or valued for their ability to perceive color and to judge it. And so when Rob talked about Steven Spielberg only wants Lou Levinson to work on his movies, it's because he trusts Lou's judgment and because they communicate well. From culture to culture, there's no consistent vocabulary for color. Some cultures, the best example is in Japanese. The word, Professor Aoyama is here, and his name is Blue Mountain, except the word, so his name is Aoyama, and Ao is blue, except when it means green. So if you have a green light in Japanese, it's a Ao signal, but if you have a blue sky, it's also ao. So you have the same word that in different contexts means blue and green in Japanese, and in different languages, in different cultures, there's a lot of inconsistencies. And there have been a lot of studies where people are shown the same color and asked, what color is that? And they don't have the same words. And that's why we have systems like Pantone, which says, this color, number 173, I hold it up in my hand and see it. So it's not like you can say, I need, please give me plus 17 on the blue. You really need to see it and agree. And that's why this interactive collaboration is so important. So Jeff is moving right through this. And those of you who have ever done video post-production or cinema post-production know that sometimes, a 1-minute scene will take 1 day to make. Sometimes 1-minute scene takes 1 minute, but as you dig into the stuff, the hours can stretch on and on. Well, we have the cinematographer here who actually saw it in real life. And so if he doesn't like it, he's going to say, I don't like it that way. That's not the way I remember it. So that's one reason. The second reason is that in the entertainment business, it's realism. Is not necessarily the goal. Sometimes color can be used to convey emotion, or to change the mood, or to change the drama of the scene. So realism per se, you want to be able to do realistic, but sometimes that's not the goal. And so what we're doing right now is we're just trying to make the color balanced from scene to scene, because the viewer's eye can perceive subtle shifts. So as you go from a bright scene to a scene that's different color, it looks jumpy if you don't balance across the scenes. So Jeff is, giving us a little more blue in the sky. Jeff, you about done? Sure. Okay. So let's play the clip end to end without music, and then we're going to come back and play it with music, please. Well, speak up. Merrick, is that the way you wanted it to look? So Jeff, can we go back to the first shot? Merrick, the DP, he says he shot it one stop overexposed. So it's blown out on the whites a little too much. So he wants to bring say it again, Merrick, you wanted to? So this shot's also a little too shifted to the red. You're going the right direction. Mid-tones lower, please. And the whites higher, please. Yes, that's right. Blacks need to be higher as well. Right. Say again. A little desaturation, please. A little oversaturated.
Imagine doing 130
So Merrick, tell us. blacks a little lower, please, Jeff. And we have a request to decrease the brightness and increase the contrast. So that didn't work. Let's back that out. We've blown out all the white detail. So Jeff, you see you're losing all the detail in the white. That's better. Okay. What do you think, Merrick? You're okay? Okay, let's roll with that. Still not what you want, Rob? Okay, let's go ahead. Yes. So Jeff, they don't like the circular vignette that you put in. Could you please undo that? Black's a little lower. And increase the contrast a little bit. That's good on the contrast. So I'd like to point out for the audience, both in Toronto and here in Prague, that what you're hearing, this back and forth, is the whole purpose of this experiment. You know, it looks like we're struggling to get the color right, but yes, if we were in the same room, we'd be having the exact same dialogue. And the fact is, we're doing it between Toronto and Prague, and it's fast enough and interactive enough that we're actually making progress. Whoop. What happened? Okay. This looks like it went too green or too. Desaturate this entire clip, please. That's better. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call a halt to this process because if Merrick and Rob had their way, we'd be here another 2 hours, so they got it just the way they want it, which is exactly why post-production facilities like CinePOST invest in a very expensive system like a BaseLight, because their clients can do everything, and they do.
Jeff, could you open the sequence setting? There's a preset of the offset for the sound. I set up there something like 1000 frames. It have to be like 100 or something else. And maybe start with the 0. You know, the music is has been made to this morning cut in some other picture. We have to find the right place to put it to these new pictures. This offset now is 0?
0.
Okay, it means we cannot make it. Minus probably.
Here comes the train.
Is it possible to set the offset at minus values?
Right.
Yeah? Try to minus 200 or 300.
Yeah, let's try it.
More after these rings, we have to the train.
So just for the audience's curiosity, the tech for this system that we're seeing only came together last night, or some would say 5 minutes before you came in.
I want to try it more.
And so we didn't really get a chance for a full rehearsal, despite Paul Hardy's request for a full rehearsal. Paul?
I guess I was right.
Of course you were right.
Actually, this is the rehearsal.
Just let this play, as is. All right, so we're not going to get the sound of the train today, but we'll be back. You'll see it someday.
You must see the sound. Get this. That's as far as that out.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to stop this section of the demonstration, and we're going to bring the control back to Prague. So Jeff, we're going to leave you for a minute. You're going to give up control. We're going to take control back in Prague. All right.
Okay.
And-
Save us.
And save and quit.
Yes.
Okay. So Thomas is taking control back in Prague. Okay, yeah. So we're going to switch actually to save time. We're behind schedule, so we're going to shift just to the JPEG 2000 streaming, please, Kunitake-san. And we finished the color demonstration, and we're now reconfiguring the projector here in Prague for 4K.
Well, there you go. Any questions about the video?
Great.